It's been a rough couple of years. Gee,
Has it been a rough couple of years?
it's been a rough couple of years. COVID sucks, and
Yes,
COVID
guys, another COVID
sucks.
episode. Tune in.
That's right.
No,
We talking
not at
about
all.
COVID once again. We're not.
COVID cast.
I was gonna go into a whole rant. This nothing is gonna be 2022 all COVID.
All the time, reporting live.
But what else sucked besides COVID is movies. COVID movies. I'm not even gonna classify them as regular movies. I'm just say movies released during COVID
Pandemic movies, I would call them.
because they're like these niggas don't know any better. Let's just throw this crap out there.
These are like, I can't even say these because some of these were supposed to be great blockbusters and do so good at the box office and streaming platforms, but
They weren't.
they did the opposite in some cases. Or they just were trash. We'll just leave it at that at base level. Some of them just weren't
They
good
were blocked
movies.
and busted. Yeah, these last 2 years have been horrible.
I would say more than 2 years. It ain't like the movies were popping in 2019. Like we was like, hey.
I don't even. Just terrible, awful.
Which brings a good question. What's the last movie you saw in a movie theater? Not counting like the braveness of now. Obviously it was Spider-Man. But what's the last movie you saw pre-pandemic? Yeah, before everything all went to hell.
That is a good question. You know what? It was Knives Out.
That's one of mine too. Yeah.
Knives Out was the last thing that I seen at the movie theater.
Knives Out, which is a good movie. That's not a bad way to end your movie theater career.
Oh yeah,
That's very great, actually. That's pretty good.
because Knives Out came out around Christmas, right?
2019, November. No,
Yep.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, that was the last. That was the last one that I seen. Jumanji came out during the.
Nope, I lied. The last movie I saw was Queen and Slim. That was December.
Mine was Jumanji.
Ew.
I don't mind the new Jumanjis. It's just not my Jumanji that I grew up on. So
I mind the way that you're saying Jumanji right now. That's really hurting my ears.
Jumanji.
It's so weird. Yeah, 2019 was pretty decent.
It wasn't bad.
Zombieland, Joker, Lion King was horrible. That was trash. If that was 2021, if it was 2021, that would definitely make the list. Spider-Man Far From Home.
Cats.
Booksmart was good. I like that. And Endgame, of course. And Us. And yeah, 2019 was, man.
Spies in Disguise.
What a time.
That was a good movie.
So anyway, we're not here to talk to you about that too much of the future. What? We're not here to talk to you.
G is on a whole different spectrum for you all.
We're not here to talk to you about too much of the, what is this? Happy New Year, by the way.
Yeah. What's up, people? We back.
What is happening? We are not here to talk to you about the past too much because we are in the future. There it is. Hello, dyslexia. So,
hello, dyslexia.
As we've kind of proven as our little back and forth, the freaking 2019 movies, it was a pretty decent year for movies. And to be the last,
It was.
As movie theater goers, couple of films that we did get to see, that's a nice little list there. Now, as far as this that's happening now, I mean, going to movie theaters is obviously a risk. If you don't have a movie theater that kind of is clean, you don't want to risk it. So, I mean, seeing Spider-Man obviously was a risk, but typically, you get your spaces, you get the movie theater that has like the facial restrictions and cleanliness. Like they're steady disinfecting everything down.
Could have stayed home for Spider-Man.
It's a risk. You could have stayed home. Yeah, I know. We all can't win.
Clearly.
But the other movies that we did watch from the comfort of our homes, because streaming again turned up for the I can't even say 99 and 2000s. I have to say the 2020s and 21s, because while theaters were closed, obviously a lot of streaming platforms picked up speed as far as us binging a lot more and just having to be at home watching theatrical films. Because we didn't have a choice at that point. In certain times, we didn't have a choice. The movie theater was literally closed. So, what is first on your list of worst movies of 2021?
First?
No specific numerical order. We bounce around. We're not rating these as we go. They're just bad. That's the rating.
Girl. You know what? The first on my list is The Unforgivable. Had an amazing All-star cast. The movie is about a woman released from prison 20 years after she's been locked up for killing an officer. And after that, the story just goes kaput because it's a stupid twist. It's a stupid movie. Everybody is boring. Actually, no. Everybody isn't boring. It just feels incomplete. I don't know why I watched it. It was 2 hours of corniness.
2 hours? That's another thing. The length, please. You really have to captivate me with like some kind of like, listen, I'm not, I can't sit down for 2 hours and watch crap and just be like, that was unsatisfying. Like, I don't have patience for stuff like that anymore. Like, when you're hopeful for a film or whatever, that's different because it's just like, maybe this will get better, and then it doesn't. And it's just like, I knew better, but you didn't because you didn't stop the movie. But yeah.
The plot didn't seem complete. It just seemed like there's just a whole bunch of people thrown into a movie, and they're like, oh, this will be good because famous people. Nope. It wasn't. So I say watch it for yourself, but you can pass. You can pass on this.
Yeah. So to follow up that movie, I guess since we're kind of going in the vein of ensemble cast that really isn't needed, specifically in this case for a sequel that we didn't ask for and didn't really need because the original was just greatness. I don't know if you know where I'm going with this one, but Coming to America. Yes, number 2, America.
Ugh.
So they had this huge like pre-press and all the rest of this glamour and glitz, and I was just like, this is gonna be something that's not necessary. I'll start off with this. Eddie Murphy, one of my favorite stand-ups. The original movie is honestly one of my favorites. I didn't need a sequel after I watched that movie. I wasn't like, man, I want to tune into what happens next. No, that wasn't what I said as the credits were rolling and the bloopers were going. Like, I was satisfied with it. That's what it was. I mean, if you want to introduce this generation to that movie, cool. But to do that and then have the traversing of the original movie and then trying to use that to modernize it within this movie, and then you had cameos, product placement that you didn't need. It was just the modernization of a film that I didn't really want, but I watched anyway just because of the nostalgia, and it's just, it's a good cast of characters. But this movie was very corny. The storyline was just, basically he left a bastard child in America.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make that sound any better than what it does, but I mean, that's what it is.
It was such a weird concept to watch because it's like he's not the characteristic.
It wasn't necessary.
Yeah. The characteristic of him leaving some child in America is not like him. So it's kind of weird that it's.
No. It didn't.
Okay.
And I know like it had the whole joke and trope of like sowing a royal oats and all the rest of that stuff, but I'm pretty sure he wouldn't do Lisa like that. That's wild. And shout out to Shari Headley for coming back to do that role because she's still fine. So that was probably like a highlight of the movie. Just like, I mean, I enjoyed seeing, everybody back together joking and stuff, but I'm just like, I didn't need this.
It was bad and boring. Oh, man.
Filled with so much. But yeah. Coming to America.
Coming to America. And going off sequels, backing off that end, we are dealing with, oh man, I got 2 terrible ones. So the first one I'm going to deal with is Venom, Let There Be Carnage. And
I'm laughing hard because that's one of the Marvel movies I skipped for last year. I don't know if the other one on your list is the other one I skipped.
Word.
As well.
There cannot be anything worse than this piece of crap.
He loved Venom.
Which is bad.
He went and saw it in the theaters and everything.
No, I did not. I did not disrespect myself or my money like that. This is coming from a person who read the comic book.
Yeah.
And this is like...
I had no desire. I didn't feel like I needed to see it. I was just like, I'm going to just skip this one.
It's one thing if the movie, you can't do as much because it is a PG-13 rating. I get that. Mm-hmm. Carnage is a psychopath. You can't really show that. But it's another thing.
They really got to get out of that bag.
You can't even write. You can't write enough. And it was directed by Andy Serkis, one of my favorite actors / directors to ever live. So the fact, you can tell that this this movie was poorly chopped up. So I'm like, oh, this is hard. This is hard to watch. I only watched it for the ending. I literally only watched it for the ending, the after credit scene, because that's the only thing that mattered.
I just spoiled myself with that one. I called it a day. Well, staying in the vein of sequels because that's what we do here. As much as I love the horror of it all, this right here was a watch because I just like horror. Obviously, I'm a fan of it in the genre, so I just had to do it. Halloween Kills.
I ain't got no words.
I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with Michael Myers. Yes? No?
I'm gonna just let you talk.
You know what? I'm not even gonna go in on the movie like that. I'm gonna just say this. Bruh. These fools really came out here with the whole vigilante, beat 'em up, Capitol Riots crew to try to take down Michael Myers. Ask me if it worked.
No words. No words.
Moving on. I don't even know why this specific continuation, because this is the new trilogy, which is fine, whatever. Okay, cool.
No words.
I didn't like this one at all. It was just weird. It was so all over the place with so many plot holes and just weirdo dropouts. They didn't care. They just didn't. They just wanted to wrap this up and finish the other movie. It was so bad. So bad. And Jamie Lee always does well on every freaking film. I can't even blame her because honestly, she wasn't in this one that much. She spent most of her time in the hospital.
I couldn't even sit through that movie.
And meanwhile, oh my God, this was like so freaking Benny Hill. This is the epitome of Benny Hill. The craziness that went on in that damn hospital when they thought they killed Michael Myers, but they killed somebody else.
I could not sit through that movie.
Like, I don't mean to be laughing, but yo, what kind of hijinks was, I don't know. Okay, I could go in on that movie, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna spare you. But either way, this one, obviously
movie.
Halloween ends this year too. I know that's not going to be like, ooh, but I just have to close the damn chapter because, man. And I mean, obviously we watch horror movies anyway, just to generally laugh at them. At least I do. I always find stuff like that funny. Peeling back the story and the plot points and everything, yeah, whatever. It's not that serious, but even still, it's fun to do. This had too many moments. You were just literally nonstop just roasting it while watching it. So, do not recommend. If it's available to you for the free, go ahead.
Yeah, I say watch all these movies for free. Pirate them. I don't know. Do whatever it is you got to do.
No, I don't know about pirating them. You do what you want to do. He ain't coming back to me because she told me that nope.
Listen, these movies are trash. I don't even think the studio cares anymore.
Yeah, they do. They're going to be like, somebody's watching our movies.
Rounding off. Good grief, I don't even want to talk about this crap. Rounding off.
Oh my God.
The sequel era. Matrix Resurrections. Cause we just need the most meta movie. This movie sucked. There's been 3 other movies. And in this movie, Neo doesn't know that he's Neo. Or Mr. Anderson doesn't know that he's Neo. And apparently the Matrix needs him to come back to save humanity again. Although it was saved in the last movie. Everything in this movie makes you scratch your head and stand pigeon-toed. Like, nothing in this movie makes sense. It feels like a giant FU to Warner Brothers. They need Matrix to come back for humanity. Oh, they need Matrix. They need Neo to come back to save humanity. But Neo isn't the chosen one anymore because he's not. It's a bad movie. It's fun to talk about if you're watching it and drinking and you got your people with you. But outside of that, it doesn't make any sense. There's too many plot holes. Yeah, you like Keanu Reeves, but even then, he gets annoying. Everything just feels like a gimmick. Nobody feels like they actually in the movie to actually make a good movie. It just doesn't feel genuine. Great cast. It feels like a giant FU to Warner Brothers because they wanted another Matrix movie for no reason.
While it's still available, because I think it's limited release for streaming, but
yeah, I don't know. You have HBO Max or using somebody's HBO Max? Watch it.
I don't think that's how this works. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely limited until they realize that, oh, people don't want to watch this in the movie theater either. So
I mean, that I did watch, and yeah, I wasn't feeling it at all. I just feel like it wasn't
I
necessary
mean,
again.
it's a bad movie. I wish I can say more.
Again, it's, nice to see everybody, but at the same time, it's just like, why are we here again?
It's a literal waste of time. I honestly don't know what to tell y'all. It's a waste of time. It's actually angering and frustrating. It's nice to see everybody and it's nice to see new faces. I love Yahya Abdul. I think he's a great actor. And this movie is just weird. It's weird and uncomfortable.
Not in this role. Nah. Not as Morpheus. He was weird.
It was very weird, and people have given their many reviews about why they think that this Morpheus was this type of way, and it's just like it's still too much.
I don't need to make excuses for that. It just Larry Fishburne.
Yeah, the movie just felt extra.
Yeah, I can see that.
It was so extra. So this is a highly recommendation of don't watch. If you do, make sure you watch it without having to pay any money.
All right, rounding off my list, my last one, even though there's a couple of other hitters. Yeah, we can do a bonus. But Army of the Dead.
Oh,
Now
great
I'm
movie.
sticking in my horror vein because I like horror, so we might as well. And as a spiritual successor of Dawn of the Dead, allegedly, this wasn't it.
Awful.
Like, a zombie movie isn't, I don't want to say it's not hard to do. Obviously, it's a newer genre as far as horror goes, but to create a story it's so dumb. I sound ridiculous to make a believable zombie story, but no, that's not what I'm doing here. But this is very over the top. Obviously, they're in Vegas. They got to do it big and everything. Cool. Yeah, haha, cool. But I mean, the freaking love child story of the zombie and the vengeance, and I'm just like, this is so tired. Like, this was a Netflix release, so if you have access to Netflix, you obviously have access to this movie. I don't know if you watched it yet, but you can skip it. It's not necessary. It was just
and so pointless and so ignorant. It wasn't
necessary.
The cast did not make it any better. You literally feel, what is it, 2.5 hours? 2 hours?
It was pretty long.
Man, these movies suck. If I watch a movie, I don't want to feel myself watching the movie. When I watched Endgame for the first time, it didn't feel like I was watching almost 3 hour long movie. It just felt like I was.
Hello, 2019. There it is.
It felt like you was watching a movie. It was a good movie. It brought you in. These movies just dragged.
In the same way. And it's not even okay to say that that's this theater experience you get. Yeah, you can get that, but watching movies in general is an escape. So if I feel like I'm just conscious while I'm watching a movie, which sounds bad, but I don't get lost in the movie, this was worth my time.
That makes sense. That makes complete sense what you're saying. Yeah, that's the worst experience anybody can have. Oh my goodness, I just paid for this movie. That's a terrible experience. If you go to the movies and you think about how much you had to pay just to watch that movie, you might as well have went home before the movie started.
You can't win them all, unfortunately, when it comes to movies. And, I mean, there's a lot more that could have been on this list, to be honest. Like, my bonus, I'll say Tom and Jerry.
Ew.
Now, that was garbage. I didn't need that in my life at all. Made it live / action with a terrible storyline that I did not ask for either. It was, that's a hard pass. I'm gonna throw Black Widow in there too, to shake the table up, because that was garbage as well.
And I dare y'all to try us with that one.
They're not gonna try nothing. This was great because of what?
Black Widow could have been a TV show.
It could have. Literally, these last two Marvel joints could have been TV shows successfully. Spider-Man included. Sorry. Not sorry.
My honorable mention would be Home Sweet Home Alone.
That is not honorable. We've literally said that movie is bad in like the last 10 podcasts before the movie even came out.
It's a bad movie, y'all.
Terrible.
It's a bad
so
movie.
Bad.
I feel sorry, but I'm not sorry that I had G watch the interview with me.
was garbage. I didn't even watch the full movie. That's how bad it is. You can get into that movie easily, which is it. That's a good thing. If you can just pick up a movie and get into it and have the feeling, oh, I want to go watch the beginning and then watch the rest, cool. But this, turn this off within 5 minutes, literally.
For a movie, every Home Alone or the original Home Alone, you're on the side of Kevin McAllister. This Home Alone, you hate that little fat British kid. Who is this clown? Why is he torturing these people?
This man ruined McAllister's legacy. What kind of nonsense? I don't even know why they went with this storyline. It was just terrible. Like, he was literally like a new age Dennis the Menace. You didn't root for him throughout this whole goings on and hijinks at all. It was terrible.
Oh my goodness, that's exactly what it was. You would have been better calling it Dennis the Menace.
They should have, or they should have cast that kid in Dennis the Menace and redid that.
Yeah.
But then again, they shouldn't have, because that's another one. I actually kind of like that remake, but they should leave that alone. But now that I said it, it's going to happen. Sorry, guys.
Coming soon to theaters. This kid just loves giving everybody the blues.
And it's going to be Dennis the Menace, D-A Menace. He's going to have flavor. He's going to be Afro-Latino too, watch. Because they got to make it nice and neutral for us all. Just you wait.
Dennis in the
wait.
Dennis in the hood.
Dennis going to be trying to pull pranks and stunts. They're going to be like, bruh, get back here.
That Dennis going to get shot.
It's terrible. But yeah, that wraps up this episode of 2021 movie failures and stuff that we wish we didn't watch. I guess we could get into shows eventually, but man, that was that was rough. It was a rough year in general, but those movies did not make it any better. Tell us what you got into as far as the movies that you also may have seen on our list, and if you have a differing opinion that you absolutely loved Coming to America, I don't want to hear it. But feel free to leave that message if you...
You're going to get so many messages about why Coming to America was so good.
This was a classic. Don't you dare. Like, okay, all right, you got it.
I don't know who you talking to, but Coming to America.
But yeah, visit us at verbalvibemode.com. Also check us out on social media, Instagram, as well as Twitter for more information. And we will see you guys next time. Happy New Year again. This is literally the last time I'm going to say Happy New Year to you, because I'm not carrying this on until June like a weirdo. Some people do. But you know what it is.
Thank y'all for listening. Mad love.